Yeah. Now it is getting recorded, so no problem. Yeah. Or otherwise, we'll do one thing. I'll just stop the recording from my end. One sec. So you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So irrespective of the tool we learn, first we need to have a good understanding of the data warehousing, because all these fall into the category called data warehousing. SAP BWBA, BO, okay, SAP BODS, or Informatica, QLikview, Tableau, all this stuff. Okay. So before going ahead, we'll just make a difference between the types of tools available. So usually in our market or in our organizations, we'll be using referring to a word called data warehousing. Data warehousing. Okay, but in general, this data warehouse is broadly divided into two types of tools: ETL tools plus reporting tools. Okay, ETL tools and reporting tools. So the combination of these things is called as nothing but the data warehousing. Okay, so there are some tools. What do you mean by ETL? Extraction, transformation, and loading. So these tools are specifically structured in such a fashion that they have the capability to connect to different systems. Okay, read the data and transform the data and load into the respective systems and make the data available for reporting. Okay, and once data is available in these tools will come into picture. Okay, and they will read the data from over here and show it, and using the reporting tools they will make it out. Okay, now if I just broadly divided these tools over here, okay, ETL tools, then we can go with the Informatica as the first thing. Okay, so Informatica. Sorry. Informatica as the first thing. Okay, then followed by data stage. Then followed by Kettle. Okay, so some normal examples I'm making a note over here.
Sure.
So these system duty is simple. Just connect to your systems. Okay, read the data and apply some kind of transformations or mappings and load the data and keep them ready. Okay, and there are some other tools whose responsibility is to, and one of the thing is SAP BODS. Okay, SAP BODS is also one of the ETL tools. There are some other tools which their duty is to just do the reporting. Okay, so in that one SAP, we can do the minimal ETL activities also, but major focus would be on the reporting part. It's not that they are pure used for reporting only. We can do the minimal activities. Okay, now SAP BO and what else?
Like
Yep,
Tableau, QLikview.
QLikview. Okay, so QLikview, Tableau. Okay, TIPCO Spotfire. TIPCO Spotfire, Cognos. Okay, Cognos. I'm just maintaining.
Cognos is not of ETL tool. Is it reporting tool?
That is what I am telling you, Aishwarya. So these are not full-fledged reporting tools. They can do the ETL activities also, but most of the cases they would be used for reporting purposes.
Sure.
We can do the QLikview activity. We can in the SAP. You already know BO, right? Business objects.
Yes.
So we can do minimal ETL activities, but most focus is on the reporting side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here also the same link with respect to QLikview, with respect to Tableau. Okay, I do got experience with these two tools also. So here these two tools are also majorly they are focused on reporting and minimal ETL activities. Okay, but I don't have experience in between these two tools, but I'm just making note over here. Now there are some set of tools which can handle ETL activities plus reporting activities. They're like a combining package. Okay. And in that one, my SAP BWBI is one of the good tools. Okay, then followed by OBIEE, Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition. Okay, then followed by MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence. Okay, so like this, your entire tools, few can do handle only. So these are pure ETL, no reporting at all, no concept at all, no concept of reporting at all. Okay, but in the case of reporting tools, they can do minimal ETL activities, but majorly focusing on the reporting. And these tools can do the reporting ETL activities plus the reporting activities. Combination is possible.
Oh,
That's the reason most
okay.
of the people will plan to make their career in these established technologies, because if you learn these tools, they're getting the ETL concepts, this plus reporting concepts. And one of the other advantage of the data warehousing, learning the data warehousing technologies is, irrespective of whatever the technology you learn. Okay, so these are nothing but okay. So these are nothing but what is called the different products from different vendors, right? Informatica is a product
Yeah.
from Informatica. Data Stage is a product from IBM. Okay, Kettle is a product
Yeah.
from Pentaho. SAP BODS is a product from SAP. Okay, so even though the things are changed, but in the back end, the architecture is one and the same. Everybody would be following the a star schema concept only as the
Okay.
basic foundation.
Okay.
Okay, so if
Okay.
you learn any one of these tools, then learning the other tools is not a big deal for you. You can happily make it out, because all fundamentals are one and the same, except the GUI would be different, except the options would be
Oh,
different, and sometimes the
okay.
naming conventions would be different. Yeah, you were asking something?
Oh. No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, the naming conventions would be different. Okay, that's the reason. Just try to focus on the basic things at the first thing, then followed by the QLikview classes. Okay, now
Sure.
here our Bill Inman is considered the father of the data warehouse, basically. So this guy has suggested some 4 principles in the construction of a data warehouse. So this guy tells that a data warehouse is nothing but a subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile, time-variant collection of data in support of management decision. So why are we going with the data warehousing tool in our organization? Definitely, the ultimate goal is to, okay, make the data available in a single location, and on top of it, go ahead with the reporting, so that whenever the management wants to take some kind of decision basing on these business data, okay, it is very easy for them to work with. Okay, and these data
Okay.
warehousing tools are also designed in such a fashion that they are mostly based on GUI, graphical user interface. No, not much coding is required. So definitely, wherever the coding is less, definitely the what is called the development time would be very fast, right? And it will be very easy to integrate, very easy to work with. That's the reason all of the data bureaus, if you see observe in the market, SAP, BO or BODS, most of them are GUI based, drag and drop options, most of the cases. Okay, when you drag and drop in the back end, the respective code will automatically generated by the respective system and make it available for you. So we never write the select statements, we never write the delete statements, or aware conditions. No, when you drag and drop for some option, it is automatically generating that respective code over there. Okay, so that way, so yeah, this data warehouse is subject oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time variant collection of data. So what is the importance of these 4 principles? We'll try to understand.
Okay.
So the first concept is okay, 4 principles, right? So 4 principles, and the first one is a subject oriented. Subject oriented. What is the importance of the subject oriented is, so usually an organization is there, so they would be using these different systems in order to store their respective day-to-day transaction data. For example, okay, I work for an organization, so they would be using a PeopleSoft application for all the HR activities. Okay, for all the HR related data storage. Okay, for the finance information, they would be using the Oracle apps. For some other department, sales department, they would be using JD Edwards. Okay, for some other department, they would be simply using Oracle database. So what are all these things? These things I would be considering them as the source systems in data warehousing technology terminology. Okay, the place where we store our day-to-day transaction data are called as what is called source systems or OLTP systems. So
Okay.
here, if you observe, the PeopleSoft belong to one of the category. Okay, JD Edwards belong to one of the
Yeah.
category. Oracle database belong to one of the category. DB2 database will
Yeah.
belong to one of the category. Which means here my data warehousing system should have the capability to connect to these different heterogeneous source systems. Heterogeneous means different brands, different flavors.
Okay.
Okay, so here subject means nothing but respect to department. Here my different departments are using different applications or source systems in order to store the respective data, and my data warehousing system should have the capability to connect to these different systems. Okay, connection is possible. Read the data and store over here. That is called as subject oriented. You got it,
Okay.
right? In simple
Yeah.
terms, in one word line,
Yeah.
nothing but able to connect to different heterogeneous source systems and read the data from and put into the data warehousing or the ETL layer. That's it. Any
Mm-hmm.
confusion?
No, no, no. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm
Whenever you
fine
have
with
any
the
questions,
whole.
just stop me and ask me the question. Okay?
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
What is
Yeah.
the next principle? The next principle is integrated.
Integrated.
We Indians, the very bad habit of typing spelling mistakes all the time.
No
my boss
worries.
is from UK, so sometimes
No, no, no worries. You can just go ahead. No, no
yeah,
bother.
just for funny, I'm telling you. So my boss is from UK
Yeah.
only, so
Uh-huh.
he would be typing very fast because their native language is English, right? So he would be typing very
Yeah.
fast, and I would be typing very slow. Sometimes it's like a passenger train. So okay, fun things happens. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now the integrated means over
Yeah.
here. In this case, what am I
Uh-huh.
doing? Connecting to different source systems and reading the data. And in
Services.
this case, I'm
Yeah.
integrating the data. Integrating the data means
Mhm.
making sure that all of the data is available in a common format.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for example, I am from India. Okay. So whenever
Yeah.
if somebody asks me to write today's date, then what I'll do is I'll go with
Mm-hmm.
this format: 29th June,
Mm.
okay, 2015.
Yeah.
Now, if I ask my dad to write the date, he would be writing in this
Mm-hmm.
format: 29
29.
06, okay, 2015.
Yeah.
Okay, if I ask my mom to write, then maybe
Mm.
she may go this way.
Mm.
Okay, if I ask anybody from the US, these guys have the habit
Mm-hmm.
of writing the month as the first thing, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Then
Basic
followed by
29.
a date, okay, then followed by
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Maybe they would be represented in this format also: June
Yeah.
29, 2015. So if I closely observe, all are pointing to the same date only. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
we represent the data is a bit different. Okay. Now
Mm.
I am
Yeah.
assuming that in one of my source system they are storing data in this respective format. Second source system,
Okay.
third source system,
Okay.
fourth source system,
Mm-hmm.
fifth source system. Now what is my duty over here? My duty is to
You have to
combine the data
convert.
from all of
Oh.
these source systems and put it in a single location, right? Single
Yeah.
system. Now,
Yeah.
if I am
Yeah.
following these different formats, definitely I can't
Mm-hmm.
combine the data and show in a single report. Even though they're pointing to the
Yeah.
29th June 2015 only, but because of these
Mm.
formats, I can't combine the data. In that case, the
Yes.
integration will come
Mm-hmm.
into picture. In that case, the ETL
Okay.
concepts will come into picture. ETL
Mm-hmm.
extract the data from these different source systems and transform the data according to your reporting requirements. Now I will contact my respective manager, ask him, boss, we are getting the data in these respective formats. Could you please let us know in what format you want to see the data in the report? Now assume he agreed with this
Mm-hmm.
respective
Mm-hmm.
format. Now what I will do is
Okay.
using this transformation techniques or mapping techniques, I will convert the remaining four. Okay, this format is agreed,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Into the.
I will convert the other things
Mm-hmm.
into these respective format and load into the beta into the respective data warehousing system or the ETL system.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so that is where the
Yeah.
concept of a transaction, transformation, or manipulation of the data is coming into picture. Once you manipulate, then load into the system. That's it. Okay,
Okay. So
that's
is it what we called as data integration?
yeah. That's what I'm telling you. Data integration. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
In simple terms, I mean, here he is referring at a definition, right? All of the data, see, a
Yeah.
data warehouse subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile collection type
Mm-hmm.
collection of data.
Yeah.
So we can just call them as data integration also, no worries.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Now, so this
Yeah.
concept is called as integration. So in simple terms,
Mm-hmm.
okay, integrating the data and ensuring that all of the data is in a common format. For example, in one of my system, they are storing the country values in different shortcuts. IN for India,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
GB for Great Britain, NZ for Australia, United States, okay,
Yeah.
NZ for New Zealand, sorry, AU for Australia, something like this. Now, in one of my
Yeah.
source
Yeah.
system, other system, they're writing the complete names. India,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Great Britain,
Good.
New Zealand, something like this. Okay. Now I want to integrate the data and show the data in a common format. Then what I'll do? I'll contact the respective manager, ask him, boss, what format you want to make it on? Then he agrees to this format. Then I will convert all these internal values to these respective formats. I'll write some kind of coding. I'll be using some kind of transformation techniques defined over here. And whenever the incoming value is IN, I'll convert into India. Whenever the value is GB, I'll convert into Great Britain, something like this. I'd be hard coding the values. Okay. Now this way, this is called as integration. Now, what is my third thing? Integrated non-volatile. Non-volatile. So your third point is non-volatile. Okay. Now, non-volatile means make sure that the data that's available in your data warehousing system is a non-volatile, means not frequently changeable. Because what is the ultimate goal of loading data warehousing? To do the reporting. Now, for example, tomorrow I have some very high level meeting with my organization where all the high level people are coming, like CEO, CFO, CTO, okay, CMO, the chairman, the different respective the different departments respective man, very high level people, for example. Now the meeting is scheduled to from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So 9:30, I need to give a presentation to the management. In that presentation, I'm just planning to give them what's happening with respect to our current quarter or the current year, or with respect to the sales. Okay. Then later on, one of the other manager comes into picture and he will give a demo of like how would be our forecast data, or what was our thing in the future, in the past, and how are we trending in the current data, all this stuff. Okay. Now, if that is the case, now when I'm presenting the report, for example, I'm just showing me the country-wise revenue or calendar month-wise revenue. Yes, boss, in the Jan 2015, this was our revenue. February 2015, this was our revenue. Now, yeah, everybody was making a note of the points and just making note. Now, if I am changing my data frequently in my data warehousing system, then now, for example, 9:30 I generated a report. I shown the data in the report. It was showing me some values. I assume some 1000. Okay. Now 9:45 when I executed the same report, it was showing me some 1300, not 1000. The data value got increased. Why? Because in the back end the data is getting updated frequently. So again confusion, boss. That should not be the case. So here we need to ensure that the report is static throughout our meeting, so that nobody is getting confused or no updated data. So totally based on your reporting requirements. Okay, you need to update your data. So for example, in my case, one of my manager is there. He just goes through a quarterly report every quarter only. Okay, then in that case, what is the use of loading the data every day into the data warehousing system? No need, right? So before the quarter starts, before the first week of the quarter, for example, tomorrow in the July, we are going to the new quarter, for example. Okay, so in the June last day, run a job, read all the data and put it into the data warehousing system and make that available for reporting by the time he joins the company. Okay. Now one of my manager executes a report every day. So in this case, I need to read the data every day. So here, make sure that the data is not getting changed frequently in your system. That is a simple concept of the non-volatile. And it's totally basing on your reporting requirements. One of my managers, for example, he wants to update the data, get the latest reports every time. Then I'll schedule a job in the background which runs and reads data from a source system and put into my data warehousing system every 1 hour. Updated data. Okay, so totally basing on your reporting requirements, you need to design it. Okay, then the fourth one is time variant. Okay, time variant. So time variant means ensure that your data warehousing system supports some kind of time features. Okay, for example, here my manager wants to analyze data from year point of view, calendar year wise revenue, calendar quarter wise revenue, calendar week wise revenue, calendar month wise revenue, okay, fortnight wise revenue, for example. But do we store our data in this respective format anytime? Do we store our data only with the year anytime? Do we store our data only with month dot year anytime? No, we always go with the complete date all the time. Okay, we never just store with only year. Okay, now what Billinmon suggests is, okay, ensure that we have time features also. So basing on these data, we can calculate these things automatically. Okay, we have some predefined functions. For example, there's a function called year. Okay, there's a function called year in the QLikview. Okay, if I give the input as a date for this year function, then the output is it is going to calculate only year only.
Okay.
Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just give a name for this one. So cal year. Now this cal year is also acting like a dimension for me, so that I can do the reporting using this cal year. Also I can now analyze my measures or the key figures. Okay, there's a function called month. Okay, if you give the input as a date to that month, okay, then it is going to, then in the format it is going to pick up the 06.2015, this format. Okay, and I'll name it as a calendar month. Now I am eligible to do the reporting with respect to this calendar month also. So this way, build in one is that ensure that we have some kind of built-in functions also, okay, date functions to be specific, so that we can give the option to the management to do the reporting based on the calendar features also. Because everybody wants to see the data time point of view also, right? What is 2015 revenue for the first 6 months compared to 2014 revenue for the first 6 months? What is my June revenue, June 2015 revenue compared to June 2014 revenue? So like this, everybody wants to compare data in terms of time point of view, then these kind of features would be very helpful. That's the reason Bill-in-one suggests that make sure that you have some predefined functions, very easy to use functions.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what Bill-in-one suggested, and here most of the data bureaus that are available in the market are based on these 4 principles only. Whatever it may be, QLikview, SAP, BWB, whatever it may be. Okay, so if you go for any interview or you want to make your career in the data browsing, nobody would be directly asking you with the what is called respect to tool questions. No, first they would be starting with the basic things like what is the data warehouse, what is the purpose of it, what are the 4 principles basing on which it is being constructed, what is the importance of those principles. Okay, like this they would be first pointing out to the general data browsing concepts, then they would be asking you the respect to tool questions, maybe QLikview or BWB or SAP BW, whatever it may be. Okay, so now any questions with respect to these 4 principles, Aishwarya?
No.
Now what is subject oriented in one line? So now when you go to interview, you need to tell them these entire stories, just one line answer is more than enough.
Yeah, it's heterogeneous sources, like we take from everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by integration?
Okay, integration is something, how can I say this? We are taking the data of all the heterogeneous sources and making into one format.
Yeah, ensure that all the data is in a single format so that no confusion in the reporting.
Yeah. Okay. And the non-volatile is like not changing the data frequently.
Okay. And it's totally based on your reporting requirements. Okay.
Yes.
Not frequently. Yes. Okay. Now time variant.
And also time variant is like we have to ensure that whatever there should be some built-in functions. We should use some built-in functions to make sure that we use those as measures.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Now these are the 4 principles, right? Now if we go back.
Yeah.
So now all of your data warehousing systems are built on the same kind of concept. Okay. Now in this documentation, whatever I have explained you now orally, okay, all these are available in written format over here. So when we share the material with you, you can just go through it.
Sure. So we are following Bill-in-one.
Yes, we would be following. Yes, and there is another person called. I just remember.
Kimball.
Yeah, Ralph Kimball. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean these are the standards set by them. Okay, so everybody would be picking up their own requirements and building their systems accordingly, whatever suits their system architecture.
Okay.
Now, go with the definition of a data warehouse. So go with the second definition. For example, a data warehouse is a copy of the transactional data specifically structured for querying and reporting. So here I am not doing any kind of magic in my data warehousing system. So here most of the organizations should be using some or other systems to store their respective day-to-day transaction data, right? Business data, right? So what am I doing is I am just picking the data, reading the data from those systems and putting into my ETL system. Here the structures are defined in such a fashion that they are optimized for doing the reporting. Okay, in simple terms, I'm nothing but making a copy of my transaction data and making them available for querying and reporting. That's it. Okay. Now go with the first definition. So you can just use the simple definitions also whenever you go with for any kind of answering. Then go with
Okay.
some kind of
So,
complex definitions like giving the principles, all the stuff.
okay.
Okay. Now go with the first definition. A data warehouse is a central repository for all or significant parts of the data that an enterprise's various business systems collect. So here my organization is in my organization there are different departments, and different departments are using different systems in order to store the respective data. Now what am I doing? Using the subject oriented concept, I am connecting to these different systems, reading the data and putting into my ETL layer or the data warehousing layer, right? So which means here I am having multiple source systems but only a single target system, right?
Okay.
That is the reason it is called as a central repository, which means all of the data is available in a
Yeah,
single
central
location.
repository.
Now, whenever any of the management, whether they may be from the finance, they may be from the sales, they may be from the HR, whoever may be, whenever they want to do some kind of reporting, they never go and contact the individual systems from now onwards. They'll contact my data warehousing team only and ask them, boss, we want to generate this report. Could you please help with us? Now, what we will do, we'll just do some kind of background work, like what are the tables involved, what is the way the data is actually stored, all this stuff. Okay. Now, read the data from those respective tables. Okay, and build a report and show to them. So that way, okay, no need to maintain multiple systems again and again, multiple resources, nothing. Only single point of contact for all of your organization data. Okay. Now go with the third definition. A collection of data designed to support management decision taking. So here simply I'm making a copy of the data, but here these kind of systems were definitely optimized for doing the reporting, and reporting means nothing but management decision making tools. Okay, and all of the data is available in a single location. So that is the advantage. So you can just make a note of these first two definitions and go with the simple definitions. Okay, now just go with another thing. Now this is how a simple data warehousing system will look like. So whenever we refer to any data warehousing solution, it should be bottom up approach. In the bottom we have the different source systems. They can be anything. They can be databases or ERP applications or whatever it may be. Okay, these are called as source systems or OLTP systems. Now in the middle we have which is called as an ETL layer. So we are connecting to these systems. Basing on these four principles, we are constructing our data warehousing application and making the data available for reporting. And on top of it, we can use any of the reporting tool, pick up the data from over here and show in the different formats which are supported by your different reporting tools. Okay, so every organization would be using their own kind of tool which suits their requirement. Okay, so now just come down. Yeah, so with this is a small example of the introduction to the data warehousing. So what is the data warehouse? Okay, now what is the four principles suggested by the what's called Bill Inmon? Then the explanation of all of these things and a simple architecture of the data warehousing. Now we'll try to understand the something about OLTP and OLAP systems. Okay, so first of all we'll go with the concept called OLTPs. OLTP systems. So your OLTP stands for any idea, Aishwarya?
Yeah, online transaction processing.
Online transaction processing. Excellent. Okay, transaction processing systems. One sec. Okay, processing. Now, what is the importance of these systems? These kind of systems are used to store the respective day-to-day transaction data. So they can be anything. So usually, most of the organizations would be using something called as ERP systems, okay, or ERP applications, okay, like SAP. So what is the ERP stands for actually? Any idea?
Enterprise resource planning, I guess.
Enterprise resource planning. Here, enterprise means an organization. Resources means the resources, the people who are employed with the organization, the computers, okay, anything, any physical or logical systems are called as resources and planning. Okay, so within an enterprise, how are you planning your resources? How are you making maximum utilization of these applications? Okay, are called as ERP applications. Okay, and one of them is SAP ERP. It's a product of SAP ERP. Okay. Any other idea about any other ERP systems, Aishwarya?
Um, SAP ERP and um, I'm not very sure about other
Not
names.
very sure. Okay,
But
no
if you
worries.
go,
Just
yeah, if you go
no.
along, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, Oracle apps. Okay, Salesforce.com, Microsoft Dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, um,
Yeah.
PeopleSoft,
Yeah. It's all people.
JD Edwards. Okay, these are all the ERP applications. Okay, I'm just making lots of ERP applications are there. Just I'm making
Yeah.
a note of a few notable objects over here. Okay, so which means here your organizations would be storing your data in any of these applications. Possibility. Okay, now there is every possible that these guys may use only databases. Okay,
Okay.
some databases. So Oracle is the market leader, right? Definitely.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oracle is the market leader in the databases section. Yeah. Any other database names you know?
Like
Vendors?
yeah, SQL Server, MS SQL, and then what else?
MS Access. Okay.
Yeah, MS Access. Yeah,
DB2.
DB2.
Teradata.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um,
Yeah,
Sybase.
yeah,
Okay. So like this, I'm just making a note of these applications where there's a possibility that these organizations should be storing their data. Okay. And sometimes, if it's a very small organization, okay, then we may just store the data in files also. It's also
yeah,
possible,
like
right?
Excel.
Excel sheets.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Then .txt files, text files.
yeah.
Okay. So every possible. Which means what I'm planning to tell you is the organizations would be using these different applications in order to store their respective data. Okay. So these kind of systems are called as OLTP systems. Now,
Oh,
all of these OLTP systems work on a single formula called as nothing but in the backend there's a database available. In that database, there are a number of tables involved. Okay, and the tables are connected with one another via the primary key foreign key relationship. All this stuff. Okay, all these OLTP systems are available in a backend architecture called ERM, entity relationship. Okay, modeling. So entity means nothing but tables. How relationship means how the tables are connected with one another and how do we model them. Okay, so all of these applications are based on. For example, I'm a SAP ERP consultant. Okay, I'm a SAP expert basically. We have the knowledge of SAP ABAP plus BWBA plus ERP applications. Okay, now if I compare my tool here, my SAP ERP has nothing magic over there. In the backend, there are lots of finance tables, finance department tables, HR department tables, sales department tables, all the stuff, and those tables are connected with one another, and that is the specialty of the SAP ERP. So the advantage of the SAP ERP is if you have the SAP ERP installed involved in your organization, you don't need to go with any other application to serve your respective data. Whereas if you go with any of these applications, Oracle Apps is very good for handling the financial area of an organization. Salesforce.com is a very good at handling the CRM related activities, customer relationship management. I don't know about Microsoft Dynamics. PeopleSoft is a very good at handling the HR related activities. Okay, but none of this application is available where it can work as an organization as a whole. But my SAP ERP does.
oh,
Okay,
organization.
I'm not getting you.
No, no, you're saying organization support.
More than
No, no, you're saying that others are like the profit, especially for
yeah, that is the reason.
HR and
What I say, Oracle has done was it is trying to buy all the other leaders in the respective areas. So there is no more tool called PeopleSoft. There is no more tool called JD Edwards. No, these are all acquired by SAP, Oracle Labs, sorry, and involving in this respect to Oracle Labs too. Okay. Now, all of these applications are work on the simple formula called as entity relationship modeling. Nothing but in the backend that there are lots of tables involved, and each and every table is connected via the primary key foreign key relationship. You know what is the primary key? What is the foreign key, right? I assume. What is the primary key, Aishwarya?
primary key is the main key.
Your voice is too low for me to understand, Aishwarya. Bit louder, please.
Yeah. Primary key is the main key. I mean, like it's a unique key
Mm-hmm.
where we can, retrieve the other data by using the primary key.
Yeah, okay, very good. Okay, in simple terms, a primary key is a column that is unique and not null, which is used to
Yeah.
require, which is used to acquire the respective records. Okay, which are used to uniquely identify your records. For example, I have an employee ID. I am considering the employee ID as a primary key. Why? Because here in our organizations, no two employees share the same employee ID. No. For example, take
Yes.
example of bank account number. So bank account number
Mm.
acting like a primary key. So which I can uniquely identify a customer and get his details. Okay. Yeah. What is the primary? What is the foreign key?
Foreign key is something like what can we say? Is a parent key or a child key? Is a parent key, I guess. No, it's a
Okay.
child key of another primary key.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So if I, in order to make the things very simple, I have two tables, Aishwarya. Okay. Employee
Yeah.
table is there. In that employee ID column is there, and employee name. Okay. And employee salary. Okay. Employee working location, for example. Okay. Now in the similar lines, I have another table called as a department table.
Mm-hmm.
Here, each and every department is uniquely identified by department ID. Okay.
I
And it
do.
has a name.
Yeah.
Okay. It has a department
Yeah.
location, for example.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here, employee ID is acting like a primary key for this table because it is a unique
Yeah.
and it should not be null basically because
No.
here no duplicates are allowed over here. It should be definitely unique. So these kind of unique things and which are not null are considered primary keys. So in this case,
Okay.
assume the employee ID is 1001 for example. Okay.
Ah.
Employee name is Vinay. Okay. Employee
Okay.
salary is some 10,000.
Okay.
Employee work location is from India, for example. Okay. In the similar lines, we are maintaining all the data of the departments in the departments table. Okay. Here,
Mm-hmm.
the department is acting like a primary key for this table because no two departments will have the same ID basically. Okay. Now here I am just mentioning it as a D1, department one. Okay. And the department name is, for example, SAP. Okay. And department work location is some India, for example. Okay. Now my manager has got a reporting requirement. Just he wants to hear all the details of the employees are available in this respective table, and all
Mm-hmm.
the details of the departments are available in this respective table. Now my manager has got a reporting requirement stating that, hey, when I want to show a report where I
Mm-hmm.
want to find out the department wise number of employees.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, the SAP department, for example, or otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
I just name it as a finance.
Okay.
Okay, finance. Okay. Now, in the finance department, how many employees are working? For example, some 20.
Mm-hmm.
Sales department, 40. HR department, some 20. Like this, he just want to have very high level data. Okay. But
Okay.
all of my department details are available in this table, and all of my employee details are available in this table. Then, how do I read the data by combine data from these two tables? Then, in that case, while defining the department table, what I will do is I will ensure that this employee ID is also one of the key over here, so that it is
Okay.
used for the communication purpose.
Mhm. So it should be a foreign key.
Okay. Okay. So in that case, what is happening is here in this case the employee ID is nothing but a primary key of this table, and the same
Mm-hmm.
employee ID if I using in another table in order for the communication
Mm-hmm.
to establish, then it is becoming the foreign key.
Okay.
Okay, like this,
Yeah.
using this primary key foreign key relationship, now I can establish a connection between these two tables, read the data,
Mm-hmm.
and show in a single report. Do you agree with me, Aishwarya? Any confusion?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
Okay.
no, I'm fine.
Now, if he asked me to write a date, I mean a report, then I want to read the data, right? So in order to read the data, what I should do? I need to write a select statement, basically.
Mm.
Okay. Now I am writing a select statement. Select only respect to columns, for example. Okay. I want to read
Yeah.
the employee ID,
From
comma employee name. Okay. Comma department ID, for example. I am just making note of which employee is working with which department. Later on, we can just use some kind of functions like count, right? You know the
Okay.
count function.
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
count.
so in the
Yeah,
count
okay.
function, you can just make a note of the count value also. Okay, and use the department ID in the group by function, so that the count value
Okay.
is coming in the group by in the option over here, right?
Okay.
Okay, now department ID comma department name. Okay, so these
Mm-hmm.
two columns from this respective table. Okay, and two columns
Mm-hmm.
from this respective department table, and I want plan to make it out. So whatever the columns you want to see in the report, just make in the select statement over here. Then followed by the from statement. So select the column names from what tables? Employee table.
We want employee and then
Okay, comma department table. Okay, now that's it. Now I want to establish a connection between these two tables, right? So in order to establish the connection, I would be using a where condition. Where, so I need to make a condition, right? Here the employee ID with employee ID. Then what I will do is where employee
employee.
dot table name dot field name. Okay, table name dot field name is equal to table name dot field name. Second table name dot field name. So when I execute this query, what the system will do? It will go and cross check with this condition. These two tables are involved and with this condition, right? So employee.employee ID is equal to department.employee ID. So where the keys are common, so here also 1001 employee ID, here also 1001 employee ID, right? So where the keys are common, it is going to pull the data and show the respective values. So what's the first column? Employee ID 1001.
No,
What is the name? Employee name? Vinay. Okay. What is the department ID? D1. And what is the what is called department name?
department name
It's
is
a
finance.
finance. Okay. So this is
Yeah.
how it is going to retrieve the data over here. Okay. Now here, but before going ahead, here if you observe, this employee ID is available in this table as well as in this table also.
Mm-hmm.
So where you want to pick up the data from. So that's the reason in front of the in front of the column names also we need to specify from which table we want to read the data from. Okay,
Okay.
but
Employee
keeping on
dot.
employee, keeping on department is just making your code very congested, right? That's the reason
Yeah.
we will give an alias name for these things. Okay, we'll just
Okay.
call this as it's official. Okay, as E.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
as D. So this as is a keyword that is used to give some kind of alias names. Official. Okay, you know SQL, right?
Okay.
Basic knowledge.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
I understand alias.
Yeah. Now you can use that E dot employee ID. Okay. E dot employee name. D dot department ID. D dot department name. Okay. Now instead of these thing here also, we can just use the E dot employee ID is equal to D dot department ID. Okay. So this way, I can combine the data from these two tables using the primary key foreign key concept and able to show the data at the report level. So this is nothing but called as reporting, right? So which
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
I can do the reporting on top of OLTP systems directly, no worries. There is no need to maintain a data warehousing system, load all the data, buy all these ETL technologies, buy all these reporting technologies, okay, implement, okay, invest some kind of amount, invest time, invest workforce, okay, no need of these things. I can do the reporting on top of OLTP system directly. But there are some drawbacks with respect to doing the reporting on top of OLTP systems. What is the primary duty of these OLTP systems is to store the respective day-to-day transaction data, write the data into the
Yeah.
respective
Yeah.
tables on day-to-day basis. For example, in your UK, we have Asda, Tesco, okay, or
Yeah.
what else? Something starts with yes, right? I just don't remember. Yes, Snippers or
Sainsbury. Sainsbury. Sainsbury.
Sainsbury.
Yeah.
I just don't remember the spelling. Sainsbury.
Okay. No, Sainsbury.
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 Okay,
Sainsbury.
okay. So yeah,
Co.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So these are the some kind of stores, right, where most of the customers will be
Yeah.
visiting and purchasing them. So here,
Yeah.
these stores would be using one of these applications in order to store their respective data. Okay, for example, take
Okay.
Asda. It has an existence in multiple places in the UK.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here, every day, some hundreds of customers would be going over there, and during the festival season or during the weekends, okay, the count may go
Yeah.
to thousands or lakhs also if I combine all of the data. Now, in
Yeah.
some other location, somebody is purchasing some or other thing, right? So it means
Mm-hmm.
even though, for example, every minute some 10 people are purchasing some other product and they are standing in the billing section. Now, which means here
Yeah.
my systems are optimized in that a fashion that they are optimized for writing data in a very, very fast manner.
Mm.
Okay, but what are we
Yeah.
doing over here? We are reading the data from the system. Here, what is there?
Mm.
What is there optimized for writing? We are reading. Quite opposite
Yeah. Yeah.
operation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so which means here it will read the data, no worries about it, but not
Okay.
optimized.
Process
It
it
will
is
take some
slow.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is one of the drawback.
Okay. Okay.
The other problem with the over here is here the data in these OLTP systems is getting updated very frequently. Whenever a customer
Mm.
buys some other product, we are
Uh-huh.
entering all his details and making a entering all the details right over here and storing in the respective database tables. Okay. Now today
Yeah.
morning when I
Yeah.
execute a report, it was showing me
Mm.
some 10,000. When I execute the same
Yeah.
report after 1 hour, the sales report,
Mm.
it was showing me some 11,000. Because in this 1 hour,
Okay.
some different customers had visited our store and purchased some other product and it became a transaction and the same data is available in the backend database table. And when I hit the select
Mm.
statement, it is going to read all the updated data, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So in this way, the data in the report is not consistent. 1 hour before
Yeah.
it was 10,000. Now after 1 hour it was 11,000. After 8 hours it would be some 20,000. Okay. So
Yeah.
which figure should I trust? Which figure
You
should I
can't
take it
even.
for my calculation? No consistency,
Yeah.
right? So this is also one of the
Yeah.
drawback
Yeah.
over here. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one is here all the time. Here, what is my system? OLTP system. They are optimized for writing data, and which means they have their own set of hardware, software involved. Okay, which are optimized
Mm-hmm.
for writing. And here what am I doing over here? I am reading the data over here, which means in the
Yeah.
back end the database tables are getting updated, nothing but writing, and in the front end you are reading data, which means you are performing the two activities using the same hardware,
Mm-hmm.
using the same application, using the same software, everything. You're just sharing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are
Mm-hmm.
sharing means definitely performance degradation
Mm-hmm.
comes into picture, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually
Yeah.
you are intended to do some work. You are
Yeah.
doing that work, I agree. At the same time, parallelly you are doing some other work also with the same resources, so definitely
Mm.
performance degradation
The
will come into
performance.
picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm.
so this is also one of the
Yeah.
drawback. The other drawback is here,
Mm-hmm.
these kind of systems are optimized for writing data, so we can't analyze data with respect to some kind of charts or
Mm.
bar charts. These kind of fancy things are not available over here.
Okay.
If I execute any select statement every day, every time it is going to display that in a what is called in a straight table format only, rows columns wise only. Okay,
Yeah.
no such kind of
Yeah.
some kind of graphics or nothing are available over here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a class in next 5 minutes, so I'm
Okay.
just pinging my student. If he's available, we'll just disclose over here and continue from tomorrow. Okay.
Sure. Sure.
So after this one, I'll just stop the class. Now, so like this, there are some lots of drawbacks. We can do the reporting, no worries. But here,
Mm-hmm.
these primary is to do the respect to store the data, and we are performing some extra activities also, right? So not a
Mm-hmm.
feasible
Mm-hmm.
solution. Okay, that is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
And here your systems are it's not that easy to integrate the other systems. Okay, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you want to combine the data from two or more systems. Okay, one or otherwise two or more systems and show in a single report. So it's not that easy to integrate these systems individually. No, you can
Mm-hmm.
integrate, but not that easy and show in a single report. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so this is also one of the drawbacks. Okay, so like this, there
Mm-hmm.
are some drawbacks are made on top of these OLTP systems when it comes to do the reporting. So otherwise, these systems are very good, except from the reporting point of view, we have some drawbacks. In order to overcome this problem, okay, what we will do is what we have is OLAP systems are coming into picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, OLAP
Okay.
systems. Yeah, we'll discuss with these OLDP systems from tomorrow, Aishwarya, and
Oh.
we'll make sure that you join the class at 8 p.m. our time.
Yeah, yeah. I will speak with Mr. Ajay,
Sure,
and
sure.
then I will ask him to tell the exact timing. Yeah, he said like 8 o'clock, so I will make it ready.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the person who will be teaching, right? So we'll make it at 8 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure,
8 to
sure.
9 you
8 to
schedule.
9.
Then once you're done with your basic understanding, then we'll start half an hour before, or I'll make from 8 to 9:30, or we can make it 7:30 to 9. Up to you.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, and if possible during the Saturdays and Sundays, we'll spend some 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but I told him like I can't make it on Sunday because Monday I'm
No,
having
no
work.
problem. Not a mandatory thing over here. It's just basic and a basic understanding between the trainer and the
Yeah,
student.
yeah.
That's it.
Ah, okay, okay. No, no, no. No, I just wanted to tell you as well because I was
Sure,
asking him.
sure.
So he was saying like not on weekends, but I'm okay with Saturdays. But actually, I'm Sunday working. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay for me also. Why? Because if I work on Sunday also, my family would also be kicking me out of their house.
Yeah, you had to give some time to your family as well.
So that's a cool idea. So we'll just
Okay.
don't have a class on Sunday, and we'll have some a 6 day class a week.
Sure, sure, sure.
So sometimes, not at all times, I may get it in the office, Aishwarya. Definitely, a
Yeah,
communication will be sent to you on that day, if at all getting late.
yeah, yeah. No problem, no problem.
95% I would be available, but 5% there is some chances, right? Some production issue or some
Uh-huh.
urgency. Then I need to
Yeah,
come to my house a bit late. So in that case, we'll just go ahead with some cancellation of the class.
yeah, sure, no
Okay.
problem. No worries. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay
yeah,
then.
I'm done for today.
Thank you
If you
so
have any
much.
questions, you
Yeah.
can ask, or otherwise, see you tomorrow at the same time, 8 p.m. my time.
No, I'm fine. Like, what about this recording?
Yeah, I'll
What?
share you by midnight because I have class now. So after this class, I will
Oh, yeah.
start uploading and send it to you.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Okay then.
And one
Thank
more
you
thing I
so
just
much.
want to tell you, use the same link only, Aishwarya. Okay. So
Yep, yep,
until unless
yep.
we communicate again.
Yep, yeah, sure.
Okay then. Bye for now.
Okay then.
Yep.
Thank
Bye.
you.